敵を食らう。
Could always use more heroes.
優が我が敵を食らう。
Could always use more heroes.
優が我が敵を食らう。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to opening weekend of the OWLET Tournament Season 2. I am your caster, Hodahori, and today we've got a great match for you today in the Majors Division. It is the Ghost Peppers versus the Furious Unicorns, and my co-commentator today is Massive, and Massive, these two teams are going to be up for a great match. Unicorns stepping up here from the lower division, going up to the majors. What do you expect to see today from these two teams?
I expect to see a really even match today. Fights going back and forth. These teams are so closely matched. Ghost Peppers did play some preseason, while Unicorns did not, so that might give Ghost Peppers a slight edge as we go into this match today.
Yes, both teams are filing into the lobby here, so that we're just going to give you a little bit of news here that's just going to pop up. There have been games going on starting today in the OWLET tournament at 7 p.m. It was Pen10 Vizeron versus Greyhound Solar. Their game has ended, and unfortunately I don't have the results for you. Noah F on the opposite channel right now is actually casting Boosted by the Way. They will be playing Expandable Academy here at our other 9 p.m. game. Ghost Peppers and Furious Unicorns is what you'll be seeing here on this channel, and on the main channel, the Power Naps and Infinite Meat will be live at 9:30. So if you are interested in any of the other maps, just go to the Twitch channel that is listed in purple. If you're interested in seeing Boosted and Expandable Academy, Noah's going live right now. And at 9:30, the main channel will actually be featuring Power Naps and Infinite Meat. But that is not the game that we are going to be featuring today. We are going to be featuring the Ghost Peppers and the Furious Unicorns. And for the Ghost Peppers, we're going to give you a lineup rundown of who they're going to be playing. Their starting lineup will consist of Chaos, Nursey, H2O, Gas Roll, Michael, and Roku Rion. As you can see, Nursey will be the support along with Roku Rion. H2O also listed as a support, so you'll probably be flexing here into another role. Chaos will probably be their tank along with Gas Roll, who is a good main tank, and he was ex-Deadlock Gang here at the end of season stages 3 and 4 in sort of OWLET Season 1. And Michael and Rokuran probably going to be taking care of the DPS, but Rokuran also listed here as a support. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of the Ghost Peppers. But for Furious Unicorns, it looks like it will be Leoxicon, Frisky, Jack, Bloom, Puppy. What have you heard from Furious Unicorns?
I've been told by their coach that we need to be keeping an eye out for Puppy and that guy Tyler. They're two DPS that are apparently incredibly fun to watch. And we're going to start moving into our first map here with Busan.
Yeah, and it will be Busan, and it looks like we will be starting here in City Center. So we will start with City Center here as both teams are getting ready. You'll see the starting lineups here. It will be actually Furious Unicorns in red, so let me flip it here. So there you go. So now in red, you've got Leoxicon, Puppy, Kitty, Japan Banks, that guy Tyler, and Frisky. And it looks like they've decided not to goat sit up here, as I see a Widow and a Pharmacy in the air here, Massive.
Looks like they're going to be running kind of a divey comp, and dive works wonders on downtown. You can really get some great work on taking out one at a time, especially on that Ana. Rokurion really needs to watch out.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful here. 20 seconds till they get ready. So it is going to be the standard. It's going to be the goats here, but it's going to be an Ana goats. So for those who don't understand what I mean by goats, it means it's a 3-3 lineup, meaning 3 tanks, 3 supports. But there are variations to goats lineups that people have started to figure out. Sometimes you can run an Ana, sometimes you can run a Zenyatta, and the original goats comp actually included a Moira. So all 3 have different variations and can play very differently, as teams now are going in and sort of making hay right here into the middle, as Japan Banks here on the Winston trying to look for an opening. Doesn't look like it, so it looks like they're going to try to force him to fight here on the point. This is what a Goats comp wants. They're going to stay tight and together here. You notice they're sort of bundled up here, and they're trying to sort of stay together and keep the healing up as they sort of go up here, as Gas Roll sends up into the air. He's going to be on the Diva. He's not going to be main tanking right now, but it looks like they've actually picked out Japan Banks. They got the pick that they needed, and now they're going to try to press on to the Furious Unicorns, as the Unicorns here are able to get demeched. Looks like Leoxicon actually gets demeched, and the Goats comp comes through. Looks like the Furious Unicorns are going to have to back up here.
Anytime you lose that main tank that early into the fight, that is a huge detriment to your team. You have to keep all players alive, especially your tanks if you're running a dive. They need to be able to work together, move together, and go as one. If you can't do that, you don't have a dive.
Yeah, Massive, what do they need to take out first here to take down this Goats comp?
They really need to take out either the Reinhardt or the Ana. That needs to be their priority target.
And down goes Rokurion, so the Ana is down. So just as our excerpt caller commentator says, they take down the Ana, and down goes Chaos, and down starts to go down this Goats comp, as it looks like the Brigade pulls out the rally here, trying to save this. Gasser will actually DMX the Oxicon, and Frisky goes down. Here comes a dragon here from that guy Tyler, but it looks like the Goats comp has come back and are able to sort of reset here, as Japan Banks trying his best to sort of stay alive here on this point. Puppey unable to finish out the supports, and they are able to hold there after looking like it was going to happen. They were going to go down, but it looks like Furious Unicorns here have to back up at 60%.
Furious Unicorns had such a good entry into that fight, but they just stopped focusing the same target. You need to have that focus fire down if you want to win these fights against Goats.
Yeah, Puppey takes down Nursey here, so down goes a component of the Goats comp, as Puppey looking like to ult here does take out Ichio, so 2 supports down here, as it looks like Kitty gets blown up by the Diva Bomb, as Gasrel takes Kitty down, and a Diva Bomb here onto the point here, trying to make sure that they can sort of stall it out a little bit, but looks like Furious Unicorns here having a real issue trying to deal with this Goats comp, but now 3 straight kills here from the Unis as they're trying to sort of clear them out, but a Graviton comes in, traps the Unicorns here onto the point, and down they go! 97% here onto the point. Puppey's going to have to drop down a little bit to start overtime. He absolutely does, but he's not going to be able to sort of do anything here unless he can take Michael down. Puppey raining rockets as best as he can, but unfortunately, Kitty's not going to be able to do as much because she's just going to be trying to keep Puppey up and boosting damage. H2O now is back with Michael here on point, as Gasrol has been nano boosted to sort of keep the fight going. We're at 99 here, so Unicorns have to stay on point. They are getting kills, so they are getting what they need, but Michael takes down Japan Banks, and losing the main tank here is going to be very difficult. He does get rezzed right away, and it looks like the ult here will demake Gasrol, and down he goes, and finally it looks like the Unicorns take point A, but they cannot lose it.
That was a beautiful hold coming from Puppey and Kitty, trying to just stall for as long as they can to keep that team up. That takes strong communication coming from both of them. And that's really tough to do, especially on a draft team.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just going to be one of those things in which they're going to try to be as aggressive as possible and maybe take out a component of the Goats comp before they can get onto the point. They did try to hold higher up, but they've actually almost given up the point here. Very close. There's only about a few ticks left. No, they actually did give it up, and now they're starting to use support ults here to try to force off the Unicorns. That was a very bad mistake there by the Unicorns. They needed to fall back onto the point, and down all of them go, and that is going to be that. That guy Tyler unable to get back onto the point, but 5 players down from the Unicorns seals their fate here on City Center. First blood goes to the Ghost Peppers.
Huge 3K bomb to end that fight from Gasrol, telling Puppey, nah, you don't get to do that again. You don't get to try to hold anymore. I'm done with you. You're out. Get away from my point.
So they ran that Goats comp here on his initial point push there on City Center. I'm assuming they're probably going to run it again here through to the drum. I call this the drum map because there's a big giant drum in the middle. But 7 seconds here, it looks like the Unicorns, they're very stubborn. They're not going to be going with a sort of Goat. Well, maybe they are, because I consider Mei a tank. So therefore, so Puppey has now gone to the Mei here, and Leo has switched himself to the Zenyatta. So this is more of a Zen Goats variation, where the Mei will then try to sort of close off members of the Ghost Peppers, and they've done a good job here as Nursey goes down. So they are up 6v5 here, and they're going to try to press their advantage and try to surround Chaos, who is down and out here. The wall did its job. Gasrol is frozen and is going to be taken out here. This has been a great take here. Unicorns are probably not going to have any issues taking this point.
These Mei walls have been on point. That is what took out Nursey and then also took out Chaos. That takes really strong play of Mei. Hats off to Puppey there.
Yeah, Puppy with a great adjustment there. So, like, knowing that they're probably going to try to stay tight, using those Mei walls to sort of cut off health to whoever's going to be in front of that Mei wall, so it makes it like a really easy pick. So it looks like they've actually changed direction, and that wall was a little late, so they weren't able to sort of cut them off there. So the fight will actually continue. Japan Banks with an early Earth Shatter here, but he gets taken out, just not enough healing to sort of keep him up and alive. Chaos takes him down, so they've got to be super careful here, as it looks like a great sort of grenade there was able to hit the Ghost Peppers, but unfortunately the Peppers with no main tank were just able to sort of roll through the Unicorns.
Japan Banks looks like he got a little too excited there going for that shatter when his team was not ready to help him out for that. You really need to be careful with shatters like that, especially any form of playing shatter.
Yeah, you get a little antsy, you know. You have it, you want to use it, you see the opening, and sometimes that opening can only be open for a second, and bam, a shield pops up, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So it makes it really, really hard here. So poke damage coming in from both teams here, as it looks like the Ghost Peppers are sort of happy to just sort of stay on point and make Furious Unicorns come to them. There's a shatter here from Chaos, but nothing doing there, and no nano boost here, and a Transcendence blown, but there was a great grenade there into the middle, so therefore that Transcendence will only be able to sort of save two people. That Diva Bomb gets sent into the corner and nothing there, but Rokurion takes out Leo, and it looks like the rest of the Unicorns here are going to have to back up. Japan Bank's running for his life. He's going to get taken out, and good hold here from the Ghost Peppers.
Rokurion's anti-nade there was absolutely huge. That was vital to them winning that fight. Using that against a Transcendence can absolutely just deny any healing coming in, and makes Zen look like a meme pick in the end.
Yes, absolutely. And now ult's coming up here for the Unicorns. They do have a 4-2 advantage here, and you see Puppy, you see that guy Tyler, so big ults here coming out for the Unicorns. This should be a fight win for them if they can use these ults correctly, but they're still poking here. They're not being aggressive, so that might be a little bit problematic for them. So now they're actually going to be charging in. Wall comes up, and here comes the Mei ult, but it looks like where it was thrown, I don't think that was actually was used anywhere. Graviton actually does catch all of the Ghost Peppers, and but it looks like the Ghost Peppers here are the ones with the advantage. All the ults used here from the Unicorns, but nothing doing. Ghost Peppers able to sort of force them out. 99%, nobody can get back on point, and it is the Ghost Peppers taking the first map win here, 2-0.
The fact that Michael was able to charge those two grabs as soon as he did within each other, that was huge. That was absolutely amazing Zarya play. And that won them that point in the end.
It absolutely did. So tell me, what could have Furious Unicorns done there to sort of maybe help them out on that map? Because honestly, it's like, it just seemed like that Mei was actually a great transition for them. They did win that first fight, and then it just sort of went wrong for them.
To me, it seemed like they just really weren't focus firing enough. They need to find that target, whoever it is, and just take them out immediately. That has to be what they need to be doing. And for the target to get focused down, I really have to say it's got to be either one of the supports or Chaos here.
Yeah, so it's like you would think, like, so Chaos has been doing a pretty decent job here. You got to give it to sort of Nursey and the other supports there on Ghost Peppers to sort of keep him up, because it is there's amount of trust in Goats that the tank there will be able to sort of free swing and shield enough without getting melted. So the whole idea is that with the triple tanks, triple support, there's enough support on both sides to sort of peel on the supports, as well as the supports making sure that the tanks stay alive, so they can just sort of swing away and do what they want to do. It looks like both teams sort of rushing through it. So we're going to go into Dorado here. And Dorado, very interesting map here, Massive. What do you think here both teams are going to try to pull out for this map here?
Dorado is going to be either a double sniper or a pharmacy's playground. It is one of my favorite maps to run, not only because it's, in my opinion, one of the most gorgeous maps in the game, but it is also just a map that has so many levels to it. There are three, I would say there are 3 tiers of play. You have your low ground streets, your mid ground, and then your high ground rooftops. And it really just opens up the play for so many different comps to run. But in the end, snipers and pharmacy work the strongest.
So let's see if we do see snipers start coming out here, and it looks like for the Unicorns, that guy Tyler might be going to the Widow. So Widow Pharmacy maybe here, and I'm seeing a Winston Diva here for the first time. So I'm liking the sort of dive, but look at this triple tank configuration that they're doing. Frisky going to the Hamster. So it's our first to see a first appearance of the Hamster here for Furious Unicorns. They're not sticking by the books. They started going off meta here, and I sort of like watching this.
I don't know if that's a meme pick, because at this point they have one healer for them. They only have Kitty on the Mercy, and as any healer will tell you, please have 2 healers. It hurts. It hurts a lot.
You know, it's a wish of like DPS. You know, like when triple DPS teams go out there, everybody wants to DPS, and there's Frisky going to the Ana here. So like 5 seconds to go. It looks like it was a meme pick. I would have loved to have seen a Hamster here to maybe see if they could sort of dislodge them when where they're setting up defense. But it looks like here the Ghost Peppers are going to be setting up defense in the tunnel. They're not even going to go up high. They're not even going to bother doing that. And maybe getting some weird picks here. Maybe because they thought the pharmacy was going to come out, and that's exactly what's happened here. So they're just going to concede the tunnel, not even challenge them all the way up, and the fight will happen here in this narrow area. So it looks like there's the poke damage coming through as we sort of position the camera here behind the Peppers, who get naded, and that was a huge nade. Hit everyone pretty much there, as it looks like Puppy, they're able to take out Nursey. So 2 down here for the Ghost Peppers, and they're going to be pounced upon here by the Unicorns as they're pushing through, and down they go, and the Unicorns looking like a completely different team here. They're going to capture point A relatively easy.
That was an absolutely beautifully done push on that side. Being able to go in and just easily clean up. This is what the Furious Unicorns need to be doing in the end, and they did what I told them to do. They started focus firing, and then Frisky's nade. That was gorgeous. I love seeing good anti-nades. Anas don't get enough credit for it, but that is what turns a fight in an instant. It is just the most powerful ability in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the great equalizer, as a lot of people say. And we're riding with that guy Tyler here, so he's looking for shots coming out of this. It's going to be hard for him shooting into a Ghost Comp, and he's going to get focused on, and he's not going to be able to get out. Down he goes, and they take out the Widow here, but they've trapped Chaos up there, so he's going to have to sort of come out. They get that payload around to the first corner, but they're down 6v5 here with no Widow on the field, so looks like Michael's going to be able to demech Loxicon, but H2O goes down, but this is just going to be a fight win here for the Ghost Peppers. It started off really well for them with them taking out the Widowmaker, but now it's just a matter of delay here as Japan Bank's trying to sort of survive and stay alive here, not necessarily resetting with his team. They're going to keep going, but finally he's going to go back, and Ghost Pepper is going to establish time on point.
This might not be a complete win in the end for Ghost Peppers. Furious Unicorns is coming in with 4 ultimates. That is going to be huge for this fight.
So it looks like here they know about the ult advantage because they backed up a little bit and they want to maintain the high ground here. Japan Banks here staying up there, trying to make sure that he sort of does not give them that area for free, as it looks like here they're going to get booped back. That guy Tyler has flanked all the way to the rear, taking the attention of 2 players here from the Ghost Peppers. He does take out H2O, so he's basically one-on-one there in the back. They need to make sure that they sort of figure out the front line here, but it looks like the front line by Chaos and Michael are able to sort of hold off the Furious Unicorns here, and the Unicorns not able to do anything. Nursey goes down, Frisky gets res, but it doesn't look like here they're going to end up winning this fight, as it looks like Chaos is pushing here on Leo, and Japan Bank's trying his best to sort of stay alive here in the front. That payload has not moved. We have plenty of time here on the clock, but I think it might be reset time here for the Unicorns as the Lucio ult comes out and down goes Leoxicon. Yep, it is reset time here for the Unicorns.
There's got to be a moment at some point when you have a fight that's been going on for as long as this fight's been going, where you have to decide as a team, okay, it's time for us to pull out. Let's reset, let's talk about what just happened, and let's get back in there, and let's get better. They still have 3 ults remaining up for this next fight, so they still have that ult advantage, but they really need to figure out who they're going for, and Chaos is just causing his namesake in the back, going after Frisky, and causing huge issues for him.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to sort of figure out how they want to engage. Puppy here up in the air with Kitty, trying to see if they can just sort of dislodge this high ground push. trying to make sure that they do not get any sort of free jump downs onto the payload. Leo up there now with Japan Banks. Japan Banks actually takes out Rokurion, so that is a big kill there. But Gasroll taking out the pharmacy with a big bomb. 4 kills now here from the Ghost Pepper, so it's just going to be Japan Banks and Leoxicon here now. He actually pops the ult to just get away here. It looks like the Winston realizes what was going on. 2 minutes here left on the clock, and Ghost Pepper here not allowing that payload to go around the corner.
You really have to tip your hat over to this Ghost Pepper's tanks. Chaos, Gasroll, and Michael have all been doing absolute work on their respective roles here. Huge initial pick, though, coming in from that guy Tyler, taking out that Mercy.
That Mercy got Hanzo'd. She got Hanzo'd hard, so that is going to force them to sort of fall back here a little bit, and that's going to give them some space, and this is the space that they've needed all game. They just haven't been able to sort of do anything. It looks like an ult here from Puppey just to make sure that the team falls back to just reposition the fight, and now it looks like here they're starting to come in again. A rally comes in here from Nursey, and a Zarya ult here. Graviton actually into the back. Chaos finishes off Frisky there into the back with an ult of his own as he's trying to sort of create as much chaos as possible. And it looks like here he's able to isolate Japan Banks, and down he goes. The rest of the team here have fallen back. Now no main tank. Japan Banks going to the Reinhardt here. No more Winston, as you see, as it looks like they're following him into the spawn. Furious Unicorns here running out of time. 1 minute left to go on the clock.
They still have ult advantage going into this fight, and I keep saying that thinking it might make a difference, but it might this fight. Who knows? Let's go for it, guys.
Yeah, that guy Tyler and Frisky here watching. Looks like he's got a dragon here, and they're gonna need to use that to see if they can get an extra kill or two. As Tyler does not have a Graviton to go with it, unfortunately, so he's gonna need to get some picks. As immediately Chaos goes into the backline trying to get any of the supports, and it looks like here comes the dragon here just to sort of clear out the area. Rokurion gets Chaos back up, but immediately takes it into the face. So Earthshatter comes in, not going to happen as he was bubbled. So now Japan Banks is in the back line here by himself. Bomb there, gets laid out, and Kitty and that guy Tyler go bye-bye, and that is going to be a problem. H2O, he pulls out the Lucio ult here with 12 seconds left to go. This could be it. Rally comes out from Nursey just to make sure that the fight is finished. Leoxicon here on the Zarya, unfortunately eaten by Gasroll, unable to sort of get it out, and that's going to be that. They end the push there right around second corner, and Unicorns get stalled up really hard here in the street space.
That has got to hurt for the Unicorns. This is a map where they needed to get more than 1 point. At this point, on defense, they've got to try to go for that full hold and really make sure that they don't give Ghost Peppers any more points than they already have. Don't give them any more advantage. Make sure they keep this a close match.
So yeah, this is a best of 4. So if you are not familiar with the way the format works, Overwatch has 4 map types. So we like to sort of play and make sure that every game includes all 4 map types. Going down 2-0 though is a far bridge for Unicorns to span, because they would then need to win the following 2 maps as well as the tiebreaker at the end in order to win this match. So Unicorns here might have to come out with something of a comp where you sort of call it cheese, where you sort of try to form a comp that is high DPS and high easily defendable. And it looks like here they're coming out with a double shield tank comp. Very interesting, as Puppey and Japan Banks coming in with an Orisa Reinhardt. So they're trying to front load the shields here. So it's very interesting that's coming out here from the Unicorns.
This is really interesting, and in the end, usually when you see a double shield, you'll often end up seeing some form of double sniper along with it, or a bastion. And they don't have that. They're running the solo DPS with that Mei, instead opting for triple tank with it. That's going to be really tough for them here.
As I said, I consider Mei a tank, so this could be, in a way, a quadruple tank, because those Mei walls are very problematic, and you see them hiding in the hallway there. They immediately stop them, but they see Michael here on the Bastion, so that might put a crimp in their plans. They're all stuck in that little tiny room. Puppey goes down, and this is not good for the Unicorns here. They wanted to sort of hold him off, and they're trying to burn as much time as possible. Wall goes back up, and they're not allowing them to sort of move. If anything, this is just sort of stalling their time right out, and it looks like Michael immediately ulting there as Chaos comes in there and is just wiping the room clean. He can call him Mr. Clean, as down go the Unicorns.
Pirate ship absolutely plundered through the unicorns there. Complete wipe in that game.
It looks like a pause here, so we're going to go to a technical difficulty screen real quick, as it looks like a member of the unicorns here has sort of fallen off. In the meantime, looks like, it's only temporary. Looks like it was a missed pause. It was an observer who left, so we'll take you right back into the action here. As the pause actually now is probably going to end up giving them point A. They're going to be able to defend here. Excuse me. Woo. So it looks like as we continue back into the action. Yes, the fight actually will continue, but a huge 2-kill here by Japan Banks, and it looks like the stalling is actually going to work out a little bit, but looks like that guy Tyler gets taken out, and it looks like there's a resurrection on the field as Gasroll comes back up. The fight will continue here onto the payload, as it looks like both teams are still continuing to see what's going on. As the bongo drops, early bongo here by Gasroll, but immediately gets taken out, and a great ult here by Puppey takes down every member down on the ground. So it looks like here the unicorns are going to be able to stabilize, but it looks like Chaos there takes out Japan Banks. They've got to be careful. Nobody's going to sneak this payload over, and they do. It looks like H2O actually floated over the payload and was able to move it the 2 inches it needed to move, and they're able to capture point A, and now they're going to have to fall back. My goodness, what a mistake there by the unicorns.
I don't think that was even intentional from H2O. I think he was just trying to float over there, trying to keep his heels up for his tanks, and just happened to cap the point there. Yeah, that is absolutely massive.
It is massive.
For him.
Yeah, I know, and the pirate ship will continue here on Dorado as Gasroll and Michael just trying to take out anything they can. It looks like it's a big problem as Puppey gets taken out. They need to break through these shields, and they're just not able to do it as they come on down. Diva Bomb actually gets sent right onto the payload, and that takes out H2O, so they lose the Mercy, but it looks like there's going to be an ulting Bastion on the field as he's going to be trying to sort of rocket in, but Japan Banks keeping him trapped into the room, and it looks like a Dragon coming through will clear out the payload. This is the stall that they were looking for. They've kept the Bastion off the field. Michael goes down, and now it's just a matter of cleanup here as the rest of the Ghost Peppers not looking too spicy here, as they're going to have to fall back into the into the spawn.
Ghost Peppers is going to have to make a swap here. You can't run that far if you're trying to keep the pirate ship. Bastion is a slow robot. He cannot go for that kind of sprint, so they're going to swap over to the Reaper to try to make up some ground and take out that triple tank.
Yeah, and that's the thing here, and they realize that they're pretty much done, but they've got it pretty far. 3:13 here on the clock is plenty of time for them to sort of make that first corner and go where they need to go. It looks like they're going to be going through the house here. And yeah, they see them. They're trying to come up from the rear, and watch out, Gasroll is trying to just charge the Hanzo right away. As it looks like that guy Tyler here will try to get through, but Puppey with another big ult. Frisky finishing out Nursey, and back go the Ghost Peppers. They're not going to be able to make it through. Good job there. Great job by Puppey taking out, making them go through a little narrow hallway, and that ult was able to do what it needed to do. I think that was a cue just to finish off H2O, but I think that might have been a fat finger.
that had to be a fat finger. That might really hurt them for this next fight, missing out on those dragons. That might be a serious regret for them. Yeah. But we'll see if they can keep holding as they are. Frisky did hit 4 with his anti-nade there, which is massive. And that is exactly what you want to keep seeing from Frisky. These Anas in this game so far have been huge.
Yeah, Chaos here onto the point. He's got a shatter, so he's going to be looking for it, but he is neck deep in it. He gets nano boosted as he's trying to sort of attack it. It looks like there's the Earth Shatter right there. He gets immediately slapped, and I think he saved Japan Band's life. Great sleep there by Frisky. So therefore, Chaos here still on the field, takes out that guy Tyler, and we've got a nanoed Winston on the field here, trying to just stall up the Ghost Peppers as they're trying their best. Puppey's got to get back up into the air. He doesn't want to get swung upon. Down goes Chaos, and it looks like the Unicorns here taking it back as they down Rokurion here, and they're able to sort of hold off this fight with 1:35 left on the clock.
Unicorns needed that hold there. They want to keep this as tight as they can. Really strong play from Japan Banks and Frisky, being able to hold them off as they did. And Japan Banks didn't even need to use his ult. He still holds on to Primal Rage, basically giving him a second life.
Absolutely. And now Puppey in the air here with another ult. We're going to ride with him because we know that that barrage is going to be coming out soon. Just going to try to see where it's going to go. There it is. It's trying to hang out Nursey, but unfortunately unable to get anybody down, as it looks like Nursey here trying to do her best to try to keep the rest of her team alive. Kitty gets Puppey back up as Gasrel got demexed, and it looks like a bomb gets sent into the back, will not get anybody down, as it looks like a Graviton will catch Leo here into the back, but he's the only one really caught in the line of fire. Lucio ult here comes in from H2O. They need to move it in, but Japan Banks takes down Gasrel, and that is a huge kill. No D.Va here. They'll lose defense matrix. ACO goes down as Nursey here dealing with a nano D.Va, as Leoxicon being healed to the max here, as it looks like Chaos trying to use his ult, trying to move the team forward. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. They have one more fight in him. 20 seconds left here. It's going to be a big hole for Unicorns if they can prevent them from coming in.
Ghost Peppers are going to really regret that they didn't have a chance to regroup there. You going for that res might have been a huge mistake.
A preemptive dragon there by Tyler, trying to sort of stall him out as best as he can. Nursey here with the rally, trying to make sure that the rest of the team has enough armor to go. Another ult here by Puppey's not really going to get anybody. They're almost there. Michael gets a kill on that guy Tyler, and kills now coming in here for the Ghost Pepper. They've had to work for every inch of space that they've gotten, but now it looks like it's coming to fruition. They're taking down one by one the Unicorns. It looks like it's an ulting monkey that's going to be left. He's trying his best. Japan Bank trying to hold it out as best he can. It looks like he's just trying to hide from the Zarya. That's probably going to do it, and that is going to be that. The Ghost Peppers take down the Unicorns here on Dorado 2-1, but they had to fight for every inch of space they got.
That was such a tough point to take. Ghost Peppers fought tooth and nail, and they weren't really coming together until the very end there for that point. This was huge though from Chaos, getting in there and just absolutely wiping. That strat might have seemed good at first, but against a pirate ship, you can't do much.
Well, you know, the thing about it is that they actually had a little bit less time going into the second stage there, and they were able to sort of hold them off as best they can. It was the final fight that finally got him in, and you saw a dragon come out there by that guy Tyler, trying to sort of dragon the spawn as they were sort of coming through, and it was just not... I don't think it just hit anybody. They could have used that dragon maybe to get onto the payload to sort of keep them off. I don't know. I don't know, Massive. What do you think? I mean, was the ult usage here from the Unicorns just a little rushed, maybe, during that final fight?
I think Tyler had the right idea, but while he was charging dragons fastest, I think faster than any of the other ults for his team. But he did use them a lot of times where he really didn't need them. And that's just that is a waste. That is a waste for me.
Yeah.
And that's gonna really hurt them in all of their fights.
So now we're going to update the scores. Excuse me. It looks like Team Ghost Peppers here now up 2-0 on the Unicorns, as it will be 2 more maps here up. And let's talk about this. So both teams have agreed to about a couple-minute break here, as both teams are getting water and just sort of talking to their coaches and dealing with what's going on. Let's look at what's left here on the schedule. It is Hanamura, Kings Row, and Lijiang Tower. Furious Unicorns here cannot give up any of these maps, and all 3 of these maps have little quirks against to them with regards to like how you play. And let's start off with Hanamura here, Massive. So with Hanamura, I got to expect that Unicorns will probably be put onto the offense here, or excuse me, they'll probably be on defense first, as it looks like the Peppers will be on offense. But Hanamura plays very, very differently than a lot of the other 2CP maps, as the point A is very, very oriented to the offense. So do you think that Unicorns maybe might suck it up and run a goats comp to try to push in and get point A as fast as we can, and then maybe have to deal with a point B push later on? Or what do you do? Because they cannot give up Hanamura in any way.
I feel like you absolutely have to run goats for point A, unless you're running into something that can really break you apart. Goats is going to be their best bet at taking this. That being said, what flavor of goats are they going to run? Are they going to be running the mint chocolate chip of standard goats? Are they going to be running the rocky road of Zen goats? Are they going to be running snoats, which is goats with a May? That is to be seen. But in the end, they do have to play something fast and they do have to get in there. I wouldn't even mind seeing a Slambulance, but that's just because I love Slambulance.
Oh yeah, Slambulance would be great, and it's sort of out of favor with everybody getting goats happy regarding the game. So for those in the chat who don't know what a Slambulance is 4 tanks. You run 4 massive tanks with a lot of health and 2 supports, and you basically just try to overpower whatever your opposing team is running. And speaking of a Slambulance was a very, very popular comp on King's Row, which is the next map after Hanamura. Now, assuming Furious Unicorns can pull out a win, King's Row Point A allows for a lot of configurations, a Slambulance being one of them, Goats being one of them, and even a standard 222, but it has a little bit of an offensive advantage because you can send a spy out to see what teams are defending with and actually adjust to what you want to fight them against. So it's one of those weird maps, but it's also a favorite of the OWLET tournament. So King's Row has its own little quirks, right?
Sombra for King's Row has been actually one of the best heroes to play there lately, especially because, like you said, you want to be able to get that spy out, see where the enemy team is positioned, and what are they running? Are they running a defensive Goats, or are they trying to run something a little bit more snipey, or something with Farah? It opens up for a lot of really interesting comps on King's Row, and it's one of my favorite maps for that reason. And it is overall seen as the best map in Overwatch.
Yeah, and people love it so much. Now, assuming we get through King's Row, it will be Lijiang on the tiebreaker, and it looks like Ghost Peppers did really, really well on the control point maps. Control point maps are a little weird because they usually come down to sometimes to individual skill, because there is that sort of off, like one person can sort of carry sort of thing. You can see it on Busan, you can definitely see it on Nepal, where one person can overtake a map here. And Unicorns, they had some real trouble with Ghost Peppers on Busan, and I'm just hoping maybe they play it a little differently on Lijiang, but we don't know if we're even going to hit Lijiang, because all Ghost Peppers needs to do is win one of the next 2 maps here in order for us to actually get to for us not to even get to Lijiang Tower and to end the match pretty much at King's Row. So if Ghost Peppers gets one more, they will automatically record a victory. But for those who are unfamiliar with the way that the format works here in OWLET, maps count. So you want to win as many maps as possible between your opponents. So a 4-0 is super, super valuable because point differential does matter in the end. And if anybody had watched Season 1 of OWLET, you know you do not want to fall too far behind in point differential, because it can be the difference between whether or not you make the playoffs or you're watching the playoffs on Twitch. So it's definitely something that's going to be very, very hard here. And now, as we were talking beforehand, I'm going to let Mr. Massive here run some play-by-play here on Hanamura, and you will allow me to do color commentary.
That is going to be happening here. And one more thing on the current score right now, Furious Unicorns have such a massive weight on their shoulders right now. They have to reverse sweep if they want to win this.
Yes.
And a reverse sweep is winning all 3 maps in a row with dropping nothing, and that is so difficult to do.
Yeah, it is very, very difficult to do, and it's just going to be one of those things. So it looks like now we are going to be going on to Hanamura as both teams are getting ready, and it will be on offense. It will be the Peppers, and it will be Furious Unicorns here on defense, as we call it. So it's very, very interesting here as both teams are getting ready. Final thoughts here on Hanamura before you start your play-by-play debut here, Massive.
I'm really hoping to see not just Goats. I hope we get to see some really interesting comps coming in. I'm seeing a Mei on the defense, and I'm hoping that sticks. Mei is one of my favorite characters to say, and if they do decide to run a kind of a snotesy type thing. Oh no, it's just 2-2-2. So they will be running. So they're running a Mei and a Hanzo, which is going to be really weird on this first point. But Mei can do work, completely blocking off that entrance gate, as well as making sure you're able to completely just remove everyone else from the play one at a time. And it's just such a strong character right now, especially in the Age of Goats.
Yeah, in the Age of Goats, you've got Puppy going to be able to sort of block off that entrance wall, so it's going to be very, very interesting. 20 seconds left to go, and it looks like they're going with a Winston Goats combination here, so they're probably looking to see if they can sort of move the tanks a little bit as both teams are getting ready here. And Japan Bank's here right here on the right here at the choke, and Puppy right here in the doorway. So here we go.
running into a flying goats, a floats with that Winston, but they're swapping over to the Reinhardt. They're gonna try to take right side, which is generally the less taken road because it's much harder to see as you come in. Chaos immediately coming in, but gets immediately walled off by that Mei. That's gonna spell doom for him as Lucy comes in, trying to save him, but won't be able to do a whole lot. And we have Japan Banks moving out here, pushing out a little further, and again, a great wall being able to block off the Zarya. And this is going all in favor of Furious Unicorns. Huge win immediately from them. What a play by Puppy, just being able to immediately wall off that main tank. That spells doom for any comp immediately.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Puppy doing what Puppy needed to do, which was isolate and kill. So the idea here is that if you're on offense and you know that wall is going to come up, you either go as a team or you commit or you don't commit. And it looks like there it is. Wall comes up and it traps Nursey.
That's another huge pick to start it off with. Michael's going to try to push off and get a little bit extra charge, but they know that this fight is done. They're going to have to start backing up here, but Chaos is going to keep fighting. No, they're going to start pushing in. Chaos picks off Japan Banks. That's a huge initial pick to come in. They're going to start singling them out one by one, take out Puppy. This is massive. Tyler comes behind from the Dragons. And that's not going to get a whole lot. They're going to get to point just fine. Tyler's going to try to solo hold by himself. Just keep him off for as long as he can, but he's not going to be able to do it. They only have Leo left, and Leo drops. That is a huge take coming on the side of Ghost Peppers.
Yeah, and what happened there is I think there was a little bit of a team mistake there. As soon as the Brigade fell on the side of the Ghost Peppers, they needed to commit and sort of hug the door and make sure that everybody was at the door. They didn't. They actually pulled back a little bit thinking that the entire fight was over. Instead, the Ghost Peppers decided, hey, screw it, we're just going to keep fighting and see if we can lure anybody out. There wasn't a wall available when they started to come through, and they committed and they rolled the dice and won. So now they have a free shot here on point A. Wall comes up here and it's going to prevent them from coming in.
That might delay them just a bit. That is not going to be enough. But Tyler coming from behind, shooting them from above. They're completely split up against. But that's a huge purple coming in. That's going to really hurt Japan Banks being able to pick off 2 easily with that 3. Japan Banks cleaning up right here, making 4.
Oh, evil wall.
Off the 5th.
That was an evil wall.
That wall just saying, yeah, you think you're gonna run away. That is absolutely adorable.
So now here, they've seen what's going on here, but look at the ults here coming in from the Unicorns. They are going to be able to hold solid. You're going to see an ult fiesta basically here on point, because it looks like Gasrel and Nursey are going to get their ults up. So everybody's going to have ults up here, and you're going to be able to see, like what in Overwatch, you'll see 6 ults maybe popped on both sides, and it'll just be chaos coming out here as they've decided to go through the high ground. And uh-oh, H2O.
Uh-oh. H2O, that's gonna hurt. Can he get away? He can. He gets away. That's huge for H2O. But he is split away, and with the Blizzard coming in, trapping that Reinhardt, that's gonna take him out. That's 3 immediately lost. That's 3 immediately lost, and that is a huge amount of pain coming in for Ghost Peppers. They can't think to win that fight. They've got to do another reset. But they still have time on their side. They still have 4 minutes 30, and they kept 4 ults through that.
They kept 4 ults through that, but the thing about it was Unicorns only spent 1. So therefore, like this has been going the way of the Unicorns, because Puppy has been able to sort of get ults relatively quickly. We saw that on the Pharah. We're seeing this now here on the Mei. So the thing about it is if all they have to do is use 1 ult at a time, they're never going to allow Ghost Peppers to come on in. So and now great stall here by Puppy again.
A huge Graviton coming in, and then here comes the Dragons, but nothing comes from it. We got, thanks to the sound barrier from H2O, they're gonna keep fighting. It's gonna be real brawly, real scrappy fight coming in here. Huge shatter coming in with Tyler trying to swing, do as much as he can, as much damage as he can. But the purple comes in, and for some reason we have a Transcendence coming in. Really unnecessary. That could actually really hurt them going into this fight. They have no more ults left.
Great wall.
Great wall coming in. Chaos trying to fight what he can, but gets pinned out by Japan. Might end up dying here, but Nursey coming in with a savior play. This is still anyone's fight at this point. We've got Chaos over here chasing down that Hanzo. He can't run away. Hanzo, you're dead. And it's coming down, to Frisky, just doing what he can to live. Japan Banks coming in, and he dodges the shatter, but it's just him before and immediately drops it. Huge purple coming in from Kitty, but not a whole lot coming off of it. And this is just all Ghost Peppers right there.
Yeah, and this was a problem for the Unicorns in the sense that once one ult didn't work, they started committing all of the ults to see if they could rescue the fight against the Peppers, and it just didn't pay off. So as they were coming in, they used the wall, they used the graviton to catch the Peppers into the doorway. They blew the dragon to see if they can come through, but unfortunately, they weren't able to sort of take him out, and by then they had already expended two ults, and then they blew everything else. So when they ended up losing the point, they just didn't have any ults there at the end to sort of stall out the Peppers as they came in, and then it became just a matter of cleaning up anybody that came out of the doorways for the Unicorns. So in the end, ult usage is what got them there, and the Peppers looking pretty good here on Hanamura. They captured 2 points with 3 minutes to go here, and now with the Peppers on defense, if they can full hold them, they will take this match. So it's going to be one of those things in which looks like they're going to go back to a modified Goats comp. Nope, not modified at all. Chaos going to be on the Reinhardt here. So they're going to be defending here with triple tank, triple support, and it looks like Puppy and the other team sort of, I see a Symmetra. Would they be that daring?
If they are that daring, likely having that Bastion teleport to the high ground, that can absolutely destroy a Ghost comp. You can't, when you're playing Ghosts, you can't really deal with high ground that well. You have your D.Va to deal with it, and that's about it. You do not have the range, and it's really going to come down to, is that Ana going to be able to sleep that Bastion?
And you see where let's see where the positioning is going to take place. So Rokorion here is going to stay actually on the right side towards the doorway, trying to make sure that trying to keep it on. But it looks like the team is, what are they doing?
They're just trying to, and they go for the teleport behind, and then that gets a huge purple courtesy of Rokorion. That was an insta-wipe. That anti-nade was amazing, getting him immediately to halfway to his ultimate charge. This is gonna cause them to have to just run back to spawn. Unicorns had no chance after that instant take.
Yeah, so Tyler there. So Tyler there did try the teleport here. They basically hung out on the right, but I think it looks like the Ghost Peppers were ready for it with that grenade, and the fact that the entire team went up there, they were just unable to do it. Here they try to try again.
That was a really, really smart play from the Ghost Peppers to hold that there. Lexicon trying to get some sneaky peeks in, but they don't even notice. They got the sneaky teleport in. Chaos is purple, but he takes on Japan, but Japan makes falls. Chaos with a huge shatter coming in, and he takes out so many. That's a huge wipe instantly coming in on this thanks to that shatter. Huge shatter from Chaos.
Yeah, from Chaos doing work there. The problem is they were in a little narrow hallway there. They needed to move, and they needed to move quickly. But that's going to be that for the Symmetra. So experiment Symmetra, no more. That guy Tyler goes onto the Zarya here. No ults here on the other side of the Unicorns here. They're just going to try to push it in.
They go ahead and they try to nano it, but the Zarya gets all of them. That's a huge grab. And then there's a free ball! That's because the D-Mac! That's so many down! That's gonna be an instant wipe on the side of them! And they still have, Chaos is probably gonna get that ult back so quickly. And then the Ana and the Brig both having their ults ready.
Yeah, that was great positioning on the D.Va bomb there by both Ghost Peppers team, and the positioning there of the Graviton to make sure that they were just sort of trapped where they are. They're gonna try it one more time here, minute 44 on the clock.
These anti-nades from Rokorion, they've been so huge every single fight, and that's gonna be a rally to open it up, and the bombs, and he picks off Rokorion. That's a huge fight. Shatter coming in, and that's huge as well. That takes out the main support and the main tank. They're gonna keep fighting. They're gonna push it back. They're forced all the way back to point, and it looks like it's gonna be just like a brawl fest on point here. They're going for the rally, coming out again, and then we're gonna keep swinging away. They're still holding on, but Mercy falls, and it's going right, and that might be the end for Ghost Peppers right here.
Yeah, that's it for the Ghost Peppers there. Good job. They said no more shenanigans here, the Unicorns did, and that they just basically said, screw it, we're going to go with our version of a Goats comp and just sort of roll over, and that's exactly what they did. And now if you look at the way that the lineup works, the Ghost Peppers should have plenty of defense here to prevent themselves from getting snowballed, but there is an Earth Shatter and a Nano here that is available here from the Unicorns if they decide to just say, screw it, we're just going to go. And they're going to approach the high ground here, so they're going to see if whether or not they can poke at him up top and see if they can get some action here, but it looks like the Ghost Peppers are waiting for him.
Ghost Peppers does have 5 volts coming into this fight here. Then they're gonna charge it fast, and it's just immediate slugfest with the Rhino just swing at each other in a huge shatter! And that's just gonna wipe them all out! Just immediate, just wipe after wipe. They still have the baby diva behind. Just gonna let her live for a little bit. Just toy with her, toy with your food.
Oh,
Lexicon's
no.
gonna jump off the edge of the map.
Yes,
and just
nasty.
decide,
Very
I'm
nasty
gonna be
stagger
fine.
there from the Ghost Peppers here, but it looks like they're almost going to be ready. It looks like Japan Banks and the rest of the team are going to be ready for another push. They realized that they couldn't go up to the high ground, but they built up some ults here, so that's exactly what they wanted to do. They have 3:52 on the clock, so they're still ahead of time here on the Ghost Peppers side. They just got to be careful. That guy Tyler now 6% away from a Graviton, so they have a pretty much 5 ults, so they're going to just charge on in and see what they can do on the point.
They're gonna just give up on going for that high ground. Just try to make sure that Ghost Peppers have to come to their point, and then immediately we have the grab coming in and a bomb, and it's gonna get 2. That's a huge bomb coming from Leo. Kitty making sure to finish off that Reinhardt. That's gonna be a huge amount of pain coming in, but we got another bomb coming in, and it picks off Kitty. They can still have a chance, but Gaswell is just trying to hold on as much as they can. Mercurion just trying to keep him up, doing whatever he can to do it. And we got more coming out. We got another grab coming in. 3 in the grab, but no follow up with it. There's nothing coming off of it. Chaos, we're trying to hold on, but we got Japan Banks, who is now nanoed, and it looks like it's gonna Chaos might be falling here. H2O and Mercurion just holding on as hard as they can, but they don't know if they're gonna be able to hold it. H2O just trying to jump around. Jump, little Lucio, man, jump.
Yeah, Lucio's trying to do as best as he can. Now they brought out the Wrecking Ball here as he immediately gets slapped. That was a great sleep there on the Wrecking Ball, but they are stalling with their lives here. It looks like they're going to have some issues here as H2O still running around as that Lucio trying to do everything. Furious Unicorns have killed everything except the kitchen sink, and the rest of the members still just can't get rid of Michael and that Lucio as Rokorion actually gets Fire Strike here. Now they've just got to focus fire and get him off the point. Finally, and now they're still going as Japan Banks hits the Earth Shatter as Chaos gets charged in there. He's going to die almost immediately. Big sleep there as it looks like a Diva Bomb gets sent into the back as Gasroll here trying to sort of stall. These tanks are surviving. They've been fighting here for a good 2 minutes plus as Gasroll trying to do his best. The stalls are finally going to end up catching up to them unless Michael here cannot get taken down as he gets immediately purpled and nanoed here. My goodness, this fight just keeps on going.
This fight will never end. That's 2 caught the grab. Michael is still just trying to hold on in this little hamster ball. But he's not sure how much longer he's going to be able to stay alive. He's getting all the focus right now, but he's still living. Gasroll doing whatever he can to stay alive. If he can get another one of his huge bombs out, he can easily swing this fight, but he might not have the chance. H2O doing whatever he can, just doing what he does best. Lucio just living, just stay alive. Gasroll just coming in, trying to get to that. Oh, but he can't get there. He gets DMAX as Nursing tries to get in with a rally, and then there's nothing coming out of this. But it's still been going. This fight has been going for so long. We've got mines on the point now. Leoxicon trying to hold on, and we got a bomb coming in from Leo. And he might be able to he gets the H2O. Nursey is purple as well. He might end up dying here. That drop from Nursey, and then takes the point.
2 CP lull, maybe? That's what I think the chat will be saying after that. My God, what a stall there from the Ghost Peppers. They actually stalled it all the way under a minute, so they do get some extra time here. They gain 1 second, but you know how long that stall lasted, Massive? That stall lasted 2 minutes, 59 seconds. That was a massive, massive stall there by the Ghost Peppers.
I feel at some point you have to give up on the stall. Like, that was huge. I gave them such a good time advantage going in with 3 minutes to 1 minute into this last fight.
unreal. So like the thing about it is like if you want to see a textbook stall, they did it. They were coming out, they were using ults, defensive ults that were keeping them alive. You saw Nursey come out on the brig, use rally almost immediately as soon as she spawned in. So she had all that armor coming onto the point, so it made her almost impossible to kill. Then you had the wrecking ball come in, you had a Lucio wall riding like crazy. It was just unable, but all the kills, if you were reading the kill feed the entire time, it was nothing but unicorn kills the entire time, yet it still took them over 3 minutes to get that point. Unbelievable push there. Unbelievable hold by the Ghost Peppers.
Stall work. Like, that's just textbook stall. That takes so much coordination to be able to do that on your own. And that's almost like solo queuing, where you're able to just hold on your own. We have, as they've been doing, just another little goats v goats here. And it's just gonna be, they're gonna try to swing fully around, just get straight to the point, and not even have to engage until they get there. And now we've got the fight started. We've got the tanks just swinging away. Just both Ryans just doing whatever they can to just get through.
Ooh, early kill on Japan Mix.
Early kill on Japan Mix, and then a boop onto Chaos. Chaos gets thrown off the map. Purple, a huge purple on the lexicon.
As it looks like both teams here are trying to struggle here onto the point. It looks like here it's a 3v3. You know, the thing about it is Unicorns just got to commit to this fight. What are they doing? Get on the point.
Michael, last one alive. This just has to be Michael, but he's still living. He's just doing his, just holding on as hard as he can. But he falls, and that's gonna be the fight straight over to the Unicorns.
Yeah, 30 seconds here is all they're going to get onto this push. So we're going to try to see Snowball City here. Japan Banks does have his ult, even though he was killed earlier on the fight. So here we go. We're just going to be following in the Unicorns as they sort of charge on in. They're going to rush for the point here. A tick would be helpful. So look for them to at least get a tick. That's all they would want. And it looks like they're going to be coming in full steam ahead.
Just straight through main, just try to take whatever they can, but then we got immediately just coming through with that graviton and a huge shatter that gets everyone. That's gonna be an easy cleanup. That might not be able to get Kitty's last alive. Kitty and Leo just try and do whatever they can to live, and that's gonna spell the end for Ghost Peppers here. Or for Fury's Unicorns.
Yeah,
they've got to full hold this first point.
Yeah, they absolutely do. So the worst that they can do is a draw. So a draw does not help them, because a draw would end up giving the victory here to the Ghost Peppers, because we only do play 5 maps, so there's no like instance in which a draw would be helpful for the Unicorns here. So full hold absolutely necessary here from both teams. From the Unicorns here, as they're going to pull Puppy out onto the Mei again. They need to make sure that they don't mess that up. They get the kill, they gather up onto the point and make sure everybody's up and force the Ghost Peppers to go back. That was the error that they had before. They sort of abandoned the point a little bit to sort of reposition themselves. They lost a player, and that was the issue. So now Japan Banks and Puppy are going to be the most important players here on the Unicorn side, but for the Ghost Peppers, standard looks like Anna Goats here from them. They're going to try to rush this, and they have a significantly higher time bank with 3 minutes here in the time bank. They want to capture it as fast as they can here, and I think they have the right comp to sort of do it.
This really is gonna be a tough fight for them to be able to hold this. They really need to have Puppy on point with those walls every time, getting at least 1 or 2 just completely walled off from the rest of the team. Yeah, it's gonna be all on Puppy in Japan.
So let's see how they do appear up front.
Well, it looks like we do have Tyler also playing the Zarya here, so we do have a Sombra coming in, just checking out, but he gets caught out, but he's able to teleport out. That is going to be a switch over to the Lucio.
That's very sneaky there from the Ghost Peppers. They wanted to know what comp they were running. I think they wanted to look for the Mei, so they're looking for that wall.
Definitely, but that wall isn't able to find anyone. That's going to really hurt them coming into this fight. They're going to need to free someone out, but he's caught out on his own. The entire team just collapses on him, but they wall off Chaos.
And the fight here continues onto the point. Like, they're actually just sort of holding off right here on the side as Chaos actually kicks Puppy out. Oh no!
That's going to be a huge detriment coming into this hold, and then Japan Banks gets picked out. This is at this point they're going to have to try to hold for the draw, unless we can see Kitty get in here and try to hold the fight. Kitty's gonna do his best. Kitty's gonna do her best, but she can't do it, and that's gonna be that point for Ghost Peppers. And that will spell the end of the match.
No, well, no. Well, it'll be the end of the match for sure, score-wise. But they're going to try to go here for the point win. So they're going to try to go for it here, and they're just streaming right on. They're going to leave one person to take. 2 minutes here on the clock. That means they're going to have 2 minutes here to try to prevent a draw, and that means just getting a tick here. As here they come.
That is true. Ghost Peppers here want to hold for that point. They get a huge grab. They pick 3 in it. Take out Kitty immediately as the start of the fight. Japan Bank falls as well. Leo tries for a desperation bomb, and he gets H2O, but that might not be enough. Casserole coming with a bomb. Gets nothing. Puppy just trying to hold with Tyler, just trying to do whatever they can to keep this alive. And now they come out, and that's a huge grab coming in. Throwing in your Hammond right into the middle of it. Pulling out the desperation Hammond again. Chaos just swinging away. And they're just pulling everyone off this point. Chaos. The entirety of Ghost Peppers, they're just swinging away. They're just doing whatever they can. They take out the hamster. They're going, all that's left is Frisky and Puppy. They're gonna do whatever they can to hold. Puppy goes for the break ult. We have Zarya trying to do whatever they can, but they can't do a whole lot. And that's Shatter comes in, taking out 2, and the grab. And that's gonna spell the end. That might give them tag, but no! Casserol's there, but he doesn't get there in time. That spells the end. And Ghost Peppers takes the point and makes this a 3-0.
Yeah, the Furious Unicorns there tried their best in order to stall there, but they just didn't have the ults to sort of fall back on. And a great win there by the Ghost Peppers. They will take the map 4-3, so fantastic here. Ghost Peppers now with the official win, and they will go for score here as they will try to take map 4 in order to see if they can get a full sweep here on the Furious Unicorns. Unicorns gave it a good fight there. They just weren't able to they just came up a little short there at the end, having no time bank. Having the time bank only for about a minute there just was not beneficial for them. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to sort of push it in. That extra time really came in handy there for the Ghost Peppers, and that sealed the win for them there on Hanamura, as we are going to go to our next map, Kings Row.
Kings Row, we're likely going to be seeing we'll definitely be seeing some goats, and Ghost Peppers, their goats has just been on point today.
Yeah,
you can't deny that.
So what do you think you're going to see here with the Unicorns? Like, because if Peppers are just probably going to goats it up and probably push through on Kings Row, then you probably think as the Unicorns, you want to run what you've been trying to run, the anti-goats comps, the pharmacies, the maze to sort of freeze them up. But it just seems like they just haven't had the luxury of being able to sort of slow them down.
That has been a serious issue for them. They still, throughout the entire match, they just haven't seemed to get that focus fire down, and they really just need to make sure Japan Banks is getting all of the support. 98% of their support should be on Japan Banks, because he's been the one cleaning up map after map. And right now it looks like they may be taking out their Ana, which could be a serious amount of pain, because Frisky was doing serious work with the Ana, being able to get those big nades and get those nanos in and game-changing plays, but they're taking them out.
Yeah, and I think that this is actually a smart move, I think, for the Unicorns. They know that this is the time where, it really doesn't matter as much, because you're going to be going into a map that, if you give up, you've already lost the match, but it's good to give time to all of your members of your team in order to get them some play time here in the league. Remember, like, when we go into the stage playoffs and stuff, you want to make sure that all of your team members have a certain amount of time there underneath, so just in case there are people who don't drop in, or people are going to be late to matches, you want to make sure that people have enough synergy to sort of play in. And the Unicorns have a very, very deep roster. We don't actually see Blue in, and he's one of the DPS players here for the Unicorns. So now they are going to be going into Kings Row, and it will be the Unicorns here on offense first. So they will be pushing through, and they will be the ones who will have to dictate the strategy here. So they need to capture point A relatively quickly, go through the streets phase, and don't get sort of stalled here on point C. And it'll be interesting to see what they start off with, but it looks like Min, who is going to be in now on DPS, as that guy Tyler has now gone out, and Jack coming in here looking like I see Genji Widow, so it'll be very, very interesting to see what they pull out on offense.
This is going to be a really interesting offense push here. If we do see the Genji come out, I do love seeing Genji, and Genji can do some great work on this map, especially. It just takes a lot of support on you. You need to be at constant full health, or else you're really not going to be doing a whole lot as Genji. It takes a lot of game sense and a lot of communication with your supports to make sure you're doing it really well.
Yeah, and then they're going to be running an Anagoat's real, pretty much a defense here. So Rokurion and it looks like Chaos are going to have to be the main targets here to make sure that they get them down. So Rokurion here, got to be careful. Maybe, it looks like Jaemin has actually switched here to the Hanzo. So not going to go Widow instead. They're going to go with the Hanzo. So probably trying to focus in on Chaos then, because Hanzo's has been very, very good here at breaking shields lately, just because of the sort of changes that he had a couple patches back. So looks like here they're going to be coming in, and Shin Karai here actually also on the Zen. So very, very interesting to see that as they come through.
Absolutely. Not to mention, we still have Gas Roll on that D.Va, and he's been getting massive bombs the entire match so far. They're going to try to swing around. They're not playing a Ghost on attack, which is really rare. So they're going to try to make sure they're sticking with those discorded Zen targets. They're just going to have a little look-see fight at the beginning. Well, now the fight breaks out. Chaos immediately discorded but Purple, huge onto Japan Banks. Japan Banks is so low health. Will he get dropped? And he will. That's a huge drop that might cause them they're immediately starting to fall back. That's gonna be a huge detriment to Furious.
Yeah, that was a great nade there by the Ana on the side of the Ghost Peppers there. When they caught the tank there was just nothing that he could sort of do about it. There was no healing going to be coming in, and once the main tank goes down on the offensive side, Japan Banks just had nowhere to go. Now they're going to be trying to push in again, and it looks like they're going to be being aggressive here and trying to force them to the back of the hotel.
That is a really smart play from them. And then is immediately just going back to that fight. Chaos are going in a little earlier than the rest of the team and goes for that slept Reinhardt. But in the end, Chaos drops first, and that's a huge loss.
Very, very big here as they wrap into the hotel. So it looks like they're going to be coming in, and oh, look at that! Hanzo takes out Michael.
Massive dragons coming in. That might actually seal the point for them here. Gasro is going to try to do as much as he can here. Anybody can't do a whole lot. He's gonna have to retreat, and they're gonna concede point A.
They got it there relatively quickly, and this has been a good, yeah, they did. It was actually a really good point here, and look at this. They're being very, very aggressive here, not trying to allow any space as Japan Banks and Chaos meet up at the first corner here. If they can get an early pick here, this will be very, very good for the Unicorns to sort of get them to push through, but instead it looks like they've had to fall back here, and Japan Banks having to fall back a little more to a Nano Chaos.
And Chaos is just pushing straight through. Gas Roll and Chaos just cleaning up as they push. That was an absolutely... They might have pushed a little... Honestly, Unicorns might have pushed a little too far, too fast, and they weren't ready for it. They didn't have their Zen there to help them out. But in the end, they do still have 5 volts. But... And, why am I forgetting this team's name? Ghost Peppers, they only have 3. Real high quality cast here.
The Ghost Peppers here looking like they are going to be behind on ults a little bit. But here comes the Graviton. So Graviton catches them into the hotel, and it's going to do enough damage here as Japan Banks goes down. That's not going to be good, and Unicorns here struggling to even get back onto the payload, as it looks like this is going to be another reset here for the Unicorns. Their supports here getting down there at the end. H2O doing some great work.
With the double kill. Dropping Japan Banks has been the first to die in almost every single one of these fights, and that is not good. You need your main tank to stay alive. As soon as your main tank dies, especially on an attack, if you're running any form of attack, you need your main tank to be alive. If they die, you have to back out. You have no choice in the matter.
Yeah,
that's been the job.
Yeah, and I think that's the key here. They had to switch up of healers a little bit, so they're going to have to worry about what they're going to be doing right now. As Jack here has the blade, he's going to be looking for it. As he sort of comes in, he needs to find the opening. Graviton actually comes in into the back, and looks like a dragon comes in to clear out the point.
A huge shatter from Chaos!
Huge shatter from Chaos. As Kitty here trying to run away. No, Anna, you cannot run from 5 people bearing down on you, and that's going to be that. And this is going to be another reset here coming in from the Unicorns.
She's just a slow little old grandma. She can't be that fast. Why you gotta bully the grandma?
Grandma, no bully! Grandma, no bully! Come on! But be serious a little bit here. 2:39 here left on the clock here. Unicorns have got to figure out a way to sort of break the stout defense of the Ghost Peppers, or they're not going to be able to make it through the streets phase here, Massive.
Unicorns did struggle on Dorado with their Streets phase part of Dorado, and so they really have to make sure that they get through and just push through. They really have to take out Chaos. Chaos has been absolutely cleaning up here, and in the end, they have full ult advantage. They only have, but then we got the blade coming in, and it picks up Recurion immediately, but it's still going all Ghost Peppers. They're not able to get enough. Jack being able to take off 2, but that still wasn't good enough.
Yeah, Jack getting 2 there might be the opening that they need if they're willing to risk it. They're going to have 5 up against 4 here on defense with the payload there. So they'll probably get a little bit of free push here, maybe towards the second corner before the engage actually starts, as that's what looks like it's going to happen. So it looks like they've fallen back a little bit, knowing that they actually took 2 extra kills that they did not want to take, as Chaos here meets them here at the second corner, and the engage starts again. Looks like ult advantage here with the Ghost Peppers, as they're going to be able to sort of use them to push back the Furious Unicorns.
We've got the bomb coming in from Gas Roll, and he picks off Kitty. That is a big initial pick. We got that main support. And then Michael again, another grab, taking out Japan Banks, but he doesn't kill him, and that's it. And then it's all going back over to Furious. Furious wins this fight.
Yeah, Furious won that fight because they were able to sort of isolate and kill the right players at the right time there, and they ended up actually winning the fight, and now we'll probably have a pretty decent push here to point B. Will anybody make it back in time? I really don't think so, because they'll probably use the Pharah here to make sure that nobody actually hits point B. H2O here decides halfway, almost there, to turn around. They give it up here, and now they have about 2 minutes here to fight, as it looks like they're going to be able to push through at least to the first corner.
They are pushing with 4 up here, trying to get as much as they can, but that does give them a slight disadvantage. Jack trying to go in behind, and they do have the Nano Blade available. They might be able to go for that to get in here, but we don't know. But that's it. And then we got a Shatter coming in. That's huge, and they were able to take out the 2 with that. And then it's gonna be all going in line of Furious here. But Japan Banks does fall. That is an issue, and they're gonna back up and wait for their main tank to come back. They're not going to go with that advantage. Yeah, Japan Banks falling, I think, freaked them out. They wanted to make sure they could have kept pushing there, I think, because Chaos was down on the other side, but just a little, probably not communication there. If they would have known the Reinhardt was down, they probably would have gone in, but now they have that grab. They just got to be careful with Gas Roll there. Leo does not want to get that grab eaten. This is super, super important. They gets it down, and that's going to be that. That is a Nano Barrage. That is so many ults, though. They have no ults for the next fight. They're gonna have to try to cap it here. Gasro coming in with the bomb and gets nothing with it. But this is gonna be, neither side has any ults up. They overspent. That might cost them here at the end, because if they would have probably saved 1 of those 2 ults, they could have finished off here the Ghost Peppers here at the end. But they're gonna try. They get two big kills here. Gasro getting out of the mech. As it looks like a Graviton here coming on from the side of the Ghost Peppers. That did pull out 3 of them, and then a huge sleep onto Japan, but he's immediately woken back up. And that purple just takes him right down. This is going right back over to the Peppers. They're gonna just push them all back to spawn. But we can't talk enough about Shinrakai. He has been a huge swap over onto that Zen. Already 95 to another Transcendence. He and Jack, if they can get back there, might be able to take this back for them. Yeah, that trance is going to be huge. It's going to decide whether the Unicorns here are going to be able to win this fight, because they'll need that to sort of finish off some of the players, to push in and see if they can sort of take out any of the players here. 10 seconds left. They're going to be able to touch here unless nobody can get there in time. No! Japan Banks got sent into oblivion! Somebody's got to stay on the point! Nobody's touching it! And we're at overtime, but no one's touching! Jack is trying to stay alive, trying to get there! Shinasuke trying to come back, just transing straight to point, using that speed boost that comes with it. Trying to do what he can. Leo's caught on his own, and that might be going right back to them. Jack dies. Huge shatter coming from Japan, but he doesn't get any kills with it, and that's gonna spend the end of it. But we have a Tracer. No, the Tracer. Where'd that come from? Just coming in, just starting to shoot. But he does get out, and he's just trying to do whatever he can. Just trying to stay alive, thing was the best pick. And now that's the end of it. Jamin there trying to save the point, hoping that the stall would be able to bring in reinforcements, but unfortunately unable to do so there. So unfortunately, they were only going to be able to get 2 points, and now we flip, as it will be the Ghost Peppers here on offense
And the Furious Unicorns here are going to be on defense here. They know where they have to stop it. It'll be second corner just past the corner itself. So that is where the golden box of victory will show up here. Ghost Pepper's looking for a 4-0 sweep here to sort of lock up this opening day here of the OWLET tournament with a big win here over the Unicorn with a 4-0. That would give them a great differential here in the Majors division. So Ghost Peppers now, we've seen them run Ghosts on everything, and it looks like it's not going to change though, but they do have a variation here. Normally, like, you see Lucio, but it looks like Michael and Rikorion here going with an Ana Zen Goats. Combine the two. That's a little unusual.
Squad support.
Yeah, it's squad support. So we've run this as an experiment in games in quick play. Don't think I've ever seen it actually in an actual match. But now some final changes here. I think Michael's trying to mess with us here. They know they're going to be running some things here. So unfortunately, we're not going to see what they're going to be able to run for sure. Looks like here on the side of the Unicorns, I see Jack here on the Torbjorn. So first look at a Torby here on point A Kings Row. So they're going to have to deal with a turret on defense. So that might throw a little monkey wrench here into the offensive push.
Torb used to be a meme pick, but now he's actually viable in many comps, as long as he's able to get those turret placements correct. And especially considering he's not running up against any real range. Torb can be very powerful here, the only range being the Ana.
Yeah, and it looks like Gasroll trying to sort of put some pressure here onto the turret here, and it's forced them to sort of fall back and go on the high ground here. So they're basically flanking as a team, trying to sort of come through. And yeah, they're speeding through the hotel here, and they're now actually up all on the high ground here. The rest of the Unicorns are just waiting for them to sort of descend as they wrap all the way around here. They're going all the way to the far side.
Where are they going? They're going all the way behind. Maybe. No, they're gonna try to drop. It looks like they might be looking to try to find a good place to drop, and they go for it. A new turret gets thrown out right in the middle. That can be easily taken out by Shinraki on his own. And that's going to be a huge drop, losing that healer like that. And that's going to be two dropping Japan Banks and the turret. That's so much pain coming in. Jim trying to hold what he can on the point, and Kitty trying to stay alive as much as she can. But she might not be able to stay alive much longer. Just 1v1ing the Lucio, and the Lucio wins. And that's going to be a point right in favor of Ghost Peppers.
Yeah, the thing about it is like you see flanks like that normally where you try to sort of okie doke a team into following you up onto the like following you around, making sure that you want to see them drop out of a window, and one person stays in spawn, switches to Widow, and tries to snipe the rest of the team. That's what maybe I thought maybe was going on, but it looks like all they were trying to do is reposition themselves so that they were cut off the back area from the Furious Unicorns, and they did that to a T, and they did absolutely fantastic as Japan Banks here trying to hold like the first corner and try to sort of push them back the way that the Ghost Peppers did to them on their offensive push and trying to stall them out. And Japan Banks there taking out H2O. Great opening kill as now they lose 2.
Huge opening picks coming in. The blizzard was not really necessary. They had already won the fight, but they're still gonna keep going for it. Again, there might have been a waste of an ult, but they still have 3, almost 4 ults for this next fight. But we do see that that H2O, Gasroll, and Michael will be gaining their ult very soon.
Yeah, and it looks like the Unicorns here will have a big defensive ult with Kitty and that Transcendence. So we're going to see here, if Rikorion keeps hitting those nades though, that Transcendence could come into play. But Chaos gets taken out right away, and that is a huge kill, possibly forcing a reset here coming out from the Ghost Peppers.
Jack immediately has Barrage after one fight. Of playing Forest, swapping over. That is huge. That gives them 4 ults, almost 5 ults going into this. They might go for another Nano Barrage grab, which in my opinion is too many ults, but they've done it before and it's worked before.
Yeah. So and it looks like they're just probably going to fare far back here and try to make them come to them. Here comes a bomb here, very hopeful bomb, but does get Kitty.
That is a really good entry pick. Chaos is gonna try to pick it, and then Michael sneaks behind and gets the grab in, and that takes out 2. Huge grab from Michael, and that's gonna be a huge wipe immediately coming courtesy of Ghost Pepper.
Yeah, Ghost Pepper wins that fight relatively easily here. They weren't able to get the ults out that they wanted. Losing Kitty in the beginning was huge. Sitting on that Transcendence, there was just nothing she could sort of do. And with that big defensive ult gone, the rest of the team just didn't have anywhere to fall back to. Now it looks like Ghost Pepper's trying to sort of push up, make sure that they get this point B. It'll be super, super important here. They don't want to get stalled here because this is a very, very bad spot to lose on King's Row offense because the walk here takes about 15 seconds.
Huge grab coming in, followed by the Nano Barrage, and it does its work. It does its job right. Mercurion really well plays nade, but that's not going to be enough. Gas Roll is going to be taken out of Mega, and they're just going to play with their food for a little bit.
Yeah, this is very smart of them, trying to sort of delay Gas Roll. The crazy... Oh, no! The Gas Roll tucks out Jamin! Playing with your food can be a bit deadly there, Jamin fingers out. But in the end, it's going to be a 5v5 here. But as they're going to start this engage, they know that the May's not there. So maybe this is an opening that they needed.
And nothing out of either of the two Shatters coming in. But Jack, huge initial picks with Kitty, trying to keeping her entire team alive with that really well placed trans.
Yeah, and Jack.
Japan Banks pushing so far up. They're trying to hold him back at spawn.
Yeah, they're trying to stall them as best as they can, and I like it. I like the aggression here coming from Unicorns. Unicorns have nothing to lose. They know they're just trying to get a 3-1 here, and they've got the payload positioned in a horrible place here for the Ghost Peppers because they can just sort of keep backing up, force them in, and then stall them to hell when they retreat. And this is really, really good strategy here from the Unicorns. They just need to win, I think, one more fight in order to make sure that they can sort of lock this up, because this walk is brutal here for the Peppers. They still haven't even gotten to the point yet, and with Jack sort of raining rockets and just stalling them out and calling out where they're going to be coming from, this is going to be very, very hard here for the Peppers to sort of attack.
Not to mention the Peppers have no ults to initiate this. While there's so many ults and there to come, the Blizzard and the Shatter just immediately just cleaning up Jack and Jim. Both just raining hellfire onto the stage. Chaos drops, and that's gonna be the end of it. They've got 30 seconds to try to take it, but it is unlikely.
30 seconds to take it back. It's going to take 20 seconds for them to walk back, and that is the big problem here with the location of the payload. So now Gas Roll is going to be the first one up, and he's going to try to make it, and they're just going to be looking for a touch. Remember, Rocket's going to be firing in. 20 seconds left to go as they're trying to build up. Whoever's going to make the point first is probably going to be in a really, really bad spot. As they're stuck in Hotel, they're trying to figure out what they want to do. Gas Roll's got to be careful, and Chaos has got to be careful, as they do not want to get picked off here, because they are going to be the main shields.
And it gets eaten. That grab was immediately eaten. Jack coming in with the barrage, and he picks out Chaos, but that's still not enough. They're able to take it. They're going to be able to push it all the way up to that point, likely here. That was a huge fight.
Yeah, huge fight there. When Leo got his Graviton eaten, Gas Roll basically paid for whatever salary he's got there on the side of Ghost Peppers, because that was the fight right there. Gas Roll taking care of the Graviton not actually coming out, and Unicorns just didn't have anything to fall back on. Now it looks like they're going to be pushing here towards the end. 1 minute left to go, and there's the box. They're giving him the first corner here, but they need to get a stop right away. Graviton here coming out on the side of the Ghost Peppers, and a huge nade! Yeah,
huge cleans it up. That's all they needed, and that's gonna be able to push them all off point. They're gonna be able to take the point here. Kitty's gonna try to hold on, but they're not gonna be able to do it, and that's gonna make sure that Ghost Peppers take the point. They take a 4-0 victory.
Oh, Ghost Peppers there stealing victory from the jaws of defeat. Unbelievable play. They needed a big play there, and that big play came out of Gas Roll on that D.Va, taking out that Graviton. That's not going to be one of those things that Leo's going to like when he sees this VOD review. So, like, they had it there, but unfortunately, it's not going to be the day for the Unicorns. They are unfortunately get skunked here on King's Row. The Ghost Peppers here looking very good here in the Majors division, taking out the Unicorns here 4-0.
This was an absolutely amazing match. It might have looked one-sided from the outside, but on the inside, these were tough fights. These were really well fought, and for me, this really came down to 2 people, or 3 people in the end, really. Recurion, Gas Roll, and Chaos.
Yes, Gregorion, Gasrol, and Chaos. They were absolutely fantastic. You've got great Ana play coming out from Gregorion, and the Diva play from Gasrol and the aggressiveness from Chaos really pushed Ghost Peppers forward. I mean, you can't say enough about a great front line, and it looks like the Ghost Peppers here getting a lot of good play here from their front line, and they take out a decent team here in the Furious Unicorns, a team that made the playoffs in Owlet Season 1 and are able to sort of challenge Majors teams here and give them a run for their money, and every map was really close. There was no real blowouts here from the Unicorns. I think they just need to adjust a little bit here and there, and I think they could be on the right track here. They might have just run into a little bit of a buzzsaw. It is opening weekend. They might have not just been able to sort of get the jitters out from play, but unfortunately for them, they go down to the Ghost Peppers 4-0.
This was just a really well played match by both sides. If I had to go for, but though, if I do have to go for one MVP, I've got to give it to Gasrol. His Diva play was absolutely insane. He had multiple. If I had a counter, I wish I had a counter. For at least he had at least 3 bombs that got over 3 players in it, and he got some on multiple on each map, and it was just huge. That was absolutely what changed the game for him.
Yeah, and it's really play. And for the Unicorns, though, not to knock any of their players, they gave it a really good go. And you know,
definitely.
yeah, and at the end there, I think the subs that they came in, Shinrakai on that Zen was excellent. So therefore, it's like they have great players. I think they just need a little bit to get it together. Jae-min there doing pretty good, and Tyler that entire time on the DPS was just basically trying his best and doing what he can there on the Unicorns. Leo doing a good job there on the Zarya. Unfortunate with that eating of the Graviton there at the end. So final thoughts here, Massive. You've done a great job here. For those who didn't know, Massive, not normally a play-by-play person, giving him a shot here in Owlet in games 3 and 4 with regards. So hopefully, like, you know, maybe he becomes a flex commentator. I don't know.
Fun fact, I'm from Denver. We don't have oxygen up here. I was out of breath for half of that. I had to keep dying.
Yeah,
but that was just a ton of fun to cast. This was a great match to be part of.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being my co-commentator. So doing production and stuff, it's a little harder to do it as a play-by-play man, and Massive was able to volunteer here and do play-by-play on maps 3 and 4. So thank you to him, and thank you for everybody for joining us today. This has been the Owlet Tournament Saturday opening weekend game between the Ghost Peppers and Furious Unicorns. Ghost Peppers here take it 4-0 over the Unicorns. Stay tuned tomorrow. We've got a full slate of games. I will be on the main channel at 7 o'clock tomorrow doing a game here for the Owlet Tournament. It will be another Majors game. It will be, I think, Burn will be featured on the main channel. So stay tuned for that, 7 p.m. Eastern times. But for Massive, I am Hodahori. Thank you so much for joining us today here with for the Ghost Peppers Unicorns match. Ghost Peppers take it 4-0. For Massive, I'm Hodo, and for the Owlet Tournament, thank you so much. Join us again tomorrow when you get to see me here at 7 o'clock.